Let's find sine theta. To find the sine of this angle, we're going to use Sohcahtoa Trigonometry. Sohcahtoa. Now sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. This is a nice mnemonic that helps us memorize. Sine theta is equals to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Cos theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan theta is equals to the opposite over the adjacent. Now what are we talking about? Sine theta is a ratio of two sides, and we have this angle theta. And where is the opposite? Imagine you are playing catch across a field. The opposite of theta is across the triangle, and we have a 3. So the opposite is 3. Now, what does the letter H stand for? It stands for hypotenuse. Now, the hypotenuse is the longest side of a triangle. It's from here all the way to here is the longest side, and it happens to be opposite this 90-degree symbol here. So the hypotenuse is 5. So sine theta is 3 over 5, or if you want to convert this to a decimal number, you can double the top and bottom. This is 0.6. Same thing. Let's try another one. Let's find cosine of theta. What is cosine theta? Again, we have a trigonometric function. Sine, cos, and tan is simply something divided by something. It's a ratio of two sides. Now, what is cosine? C stands for cos, S stands for sine, T stands for tan. Cosine, these famous trig functions on your calculator, there's even a button for it. Cosine of the angle theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine theta is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now, what's the adjacent? The adjacent is this value here. Now, if you recall from the Pythagorean Theorem, this is a 4. 3, 4, 5 is a famous Pythagorean triple. And if you really want to refresh some previous math, this here is your unknown x. This is 3, this is 5. And from Pythagorean Theorem, c squared is equals to a squared plus b squared. We know that c squared, which is 5 squared, is equals to a squared, which is 3 squared, plus b squared, which happens to be your x squared. We can just solve for x. 5 squared is 25. 3 squared is 9. We throw the 9 over, making it negative 9. 25 minus 9 is 16. We square root both sides, and therefore we get x equals 4. Now if you memorize 3, 4, 5 is a lot quicker. So what is cosine of the angle theta? Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. It's going to be 4 over 5. 4 over 5. Now do not pick 3, because the number 3 is opposite. It's far away. Now students do confuse the adjacent and the hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is the longest side, so the other number that's adjacent, which is very nearby, theta, the word adjacent in English means beside, is 4. So do not mix up the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 4 over 5. Let's try one more. What is tan theta? What is tan theta? Tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. This equation here. So tan theta is equals to the opposite over the adjacent. So let's focus on the opposite, which happens to be, again, 3 over the adjacent, which is 4. So across the field we have 3 and adjacent is 4. So tan theta is 3 over 4. If you really want to say 0.75, this is also correct.